Michigan players feel betrayed, according to Biff Poggi. Let's talk about what he means and what's left to be done to get Michigan through what's left of the 2025 season, or do they even want to do that? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you think Michigan players have every right to feel betrayed by ex-Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore? Because I do. This is the time for them to tell their interim head coach, Biff Poggi, and anybody else associated with the football program that has a stake in it inside of those halls, Schembechler Hall, to be very specific, what they feel and why they feel it. I would be really taken aback if they didn't feel betrayed, if they didn't feel violated, if they didn't feel as if their trust was broken, not just by Sherrone, but by many of the of the coaches and staff around who may or may not have known about this relationship that Sherrone Moore had that led to his termination and ultimately led to his actions, which have culminated in 3 charges where he is looking at jail time. For those of you living on that particular rock, I assume that it is one that got blown up and is no more. Otherwise, you would have stayed there. Call it Namek. Sherrone Moore fired last Wednesday, and this is all escalated very quickly as Michigan is in the middle of a coaching search while also trying to put together a football team that is capable of beating Texas in the Cheez-It Bowl on December 31st. Really looking forward to that game prior to this news. It's a rematch of last year's Michigan-Texas game in which Texas got a W and Michigan didn't have a quarterback, but that was really one of the things that led to Bryce Underwood becoming their QB1. And as a true freshman, had a really great year by true freshman standards. I think he could develop into being one of the stars in the sport, and he's already playing at one of the biggest programs in the country, and he purported himself well. Going into this season, Sherrone Moore was coming out of what felt like the last of the Jim Harbaugh sanctions and penalties. He had been handed a show cause. Jim Harbaugh handed a show cause. Jesse Minter handed a show cause. But this is also following Connor Stallions and the sign stealing scandal. This is following Matt Weiss, for which he was charged by the FBI, or actually charged by the Justice Department, investigated by the FBI for what ends up being computer hacking. And while some Michigan fans, who I think, quite frankly, are stupid for saying this, not all Michigan fans, but these Michigan fans, he did that while he was with the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, while he was on campus inside of your halls, inside of Michigan's network. Stop trying to make this not a big deal. It's all a big deal. And it's been, from the outside looking in, one scandal after another. And it's got to come to an end. It's got to stop. Many people believe that it begins with the very top of the athletic department, that'd be Ward Manuel. However, the Board of Regents at Michigan told everybody he's going to keep his job. He's going to hire the next head coach to be at Michigan. And while the football program is going through it, the hockey team is great, men's basketball team is great, women's basketball team is great, and people still come to Michigan. If you are a Michigan alumnus or alumna, I am going to let you say people come to Michigan because it's a great academic institution. I'm going to tell you we got lots of those around the country, and not all of them win national championships. You take a look at ACT scores at Alabama before Nick Saban got there. You take a look at ACC scores since he won 6 national championships. You'll see that it's right there next to you as one of the better programs, if not a better academic program than Michigan is, because football drives enrollment, and football gets people to pay top dollar to go to a fancy hoity-toity school that really doesn't mean much past the people that got to graduate there. A lot of people that didn't go to Notre Dame that root for Notre Dame. A lot of people that didn't go to Michigan root to Michigan. A lot of people that didn't go to Oklahoma root for Oklahoma. And I tell the kiddos, as a person who's got more degrees than most people that are watching this channel, you don't need to go to college if you got a job. The reason you go to college is to get a job. If you ain't got a job, you stay in college, you stay in school. You make fun of people that are getting PhDs or MFAs and this or that because they don't have a job. For some people, though, it is about, I would like to have this piece of pride on a wall. Dog, Good for you. You know, I dropped out of the PhD program at Oklahoma State being an English professor to do this. It's my job. I love doing my job. Does it make it better if I'm Dr. RJ talking about football? No, it doesn't. And where you went to school only matters to the people that you're talking to. Oh, I went to Harvard. Cool. You went to Harvard. Now I need you to tie this square knot. I need you to go make these Xerox copies. I need you to go pick up the laundry. I need you to take out the trash. Are you coachable? Are you willing and able? Because telling people how smart you are is a great way for you not to get a job because they've been doing it longer than you are. Now that I'm going to get off my high horse about academia, in which I am an authority and many of you are not, we can start talking about another thing I'm an authority on. It's college football. I think that Poggi here, man, is really, looking at this thing and saying all the right things. Like you said, look, when I was asked to be the interim, the task I was given was to love and listen. So I'm loving and listening. And I believe this quote is most illuminating in all the things that he has said so far, because it's, to his point, it's been a tumultuous time. He said a lot of it was at first disbelief, then anger, then really what we're in right now is the kids, quite frankly, feel very betrayed, and we're trying to work through that. He goes on. He says, I don't know that you can prepare for something like this. It's been complicated. I want to listen to them. I want to understand what the kids are feeling and what their parents are feeling. And so a lot of listening, and there's been a wide range of emotions, and we are going through those steps. They won't be over this quickly. They won't be over this soon. I often refer to the kiddos as just that. But I should remind everybody that most of the players on the football team are adults. And by adults, I mean 18. And when somebody really does want to screw down on the logic of being a kiddo, I will say, no, that's a grown man. Because if you can carry a weapon against enemies, foreign and domestic, and defend this country at 18, you can do anything else you want at 18. As far as I'm concerned, the drinking age should be lowered at 18 everywhere. Because we ask young people to do so much, myself included when I was young, that we can't also patronize them. Because if this was a thing that they did, we would crucify them. Think about how many players have disappointed you and how people come down so hard on these players. And nobody looks around and says, damn, I hope somebody's taking care of him and looking after him. Derek Carr went out of his way to tell anybody who listened, I'm going to do my best to look after Henry Ruggs when Henry Ruggs is going through it. I care about Henry Ruggs. Is he going to do what he has to do? Yeah, he is. And it's going to suck. But somebody got to love that dude, right? That's one way in which I would look at the players. If they chose not to play this game, fully would support it. I would. Because you've been playing under the guise of one man's influence over the entire program, and his image and his attitude cloaks the program from wanting to continue to wear those work coveralls to the smash attitude and all of these things that you come to do and love with that guy because you believe in him and you trust in him and you do it his way. You're not doing that anymore. And more than that, you don't even know who the next head coach is going to be. Like, I know that people think that Biff got a shot at the job, but I don't see it that way. They were just looking at Kalen DeBoer. Then they were looking at Kenny Dillingham. Now they're looking at Jed Fish, Eli Drinkwitz, Jeff Brom. Are those dudes that recruited you? Are those dudes that want to bring in their own people? And do they really know what it means to be a Michigan Wolverine like the players who have bled for it? Like, it's one thing to go to school there. It's another thing to leave pieces of your flesh and your blood on the ground in that soil. I can't give that to anybody else. If you've never been in a fist fight, I can't give that to you either. If you never had a brother that you quite literally had to pick up because he was knocked the hell over, I can't give that to you. And you're doing that because one man asked you to do it repeatedly. And that man broke your trust in ways in which it might forever be broken. If all they wanted to do after this was not play football for a month, you want to take what you can get. You made the hire. Now you got to take the consequences.